my name is Gareth. You're watching the Hub Online Network, and we have Jim Mertel of Sage Sound Singers in the house, physically distanced, mind you. So let's let Jim tell us a little bit about himself. Jim, how'd you get started, and why are you doing it?
Well, we came to Ashcroft in 2014 when I retired from Squamish. And now see, it's not as near as good.
Oh, it's all good, Jim. It's all good.
Okay. We came here to Ashcroft in 2014 after I retired, and I was looking for stuff to do and managed to get on with My Fair Lady that Raps was doing at the time. And I got in the chorus, loved it, and then Michelle liked what I was doing well enough that she put me in the choir, which was 3 weeks later after My Fair Lady. I had 3 weeks to learn the bass parts. And it went upwards from there. And I've been singing with Sage Sound Singers ever since. And I'm also now treasurer of Sage Sound Singers. See, I'm not doing any good anymore. Oops.
I think this is one of the best interviews I've done all day, Jim.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
have you? So before My Fair Lady, then, did you do anything theater-wise before?
No, I had done nothing, and it was that's what was amazing about it. It was kind of like coming to Ashcroft was like life part two for me, and everything changed. I was once I got over the year, it took me about a year to get over working, and then after that it was just great. And now I've learned how to do nothing, and that's but I don't ever do nothing. I'm doing everything. So.
It's interesting because as far as not that I know you very well, mind you, but the amount of things that I know you from and have known you through, you've always struck me as an artsy kind of person. So if that isn't the case, what did you do before moving to Ashcroft? Like, what was your career?
I was in IT. I was network manager
Okay.
for the school district there, and it was totally, well, it's very creative. I mean, it truly is. IT is creative, and I was trained as a programmer, which is the ultimate in creativity, as far as I can see. But it was kind of nice to have the change. But I'm still into computers. I do all kinds of stuff with them.
So IT to arts, that's cool. Why don't you tell us a little bit before we get into like Sage Sound Singers and stuff like that? Tell us a little bit about Michelle and what she does, and if you know why she decided to start a choir in Ashcroft.
Michelle started a choir because she is passionate about singing, and she really is, and she wanted to bring it to the community. And I think she had spent, a lot of her earlier life had been raising kids, and so when they grew up and they moved here, and there was an opportunity for her to blossom in music. And she is one of the most passionate people I know, and she has taught me so much about singing, and I've improved a lot since 2014. I listened to what I sounded like then, and I listen to what I sound like now. It's amazing. It's all due to Michelle, and she has drive that you can't believe, because if she wants to get something done, it happens. And I'm amazed. Usually I'm saying, "Oh, Michelle, we can't do that." "Yes, we can. We're going to do it." "Okay, I'm with you." And no, she's the driving force, and music is her world. And that's why this COVID has been really hard for us, because it's just put so many stumbling blocks in our way. But through all of them, she keeps trying, which is why I stick with her. She's a hard taskmaster sometimes, but I stick by her because she brings us places we never thought we could go.
Well, with your time shared with Michelle, what is one of the more interesting things or roles or songs or activities that you have taken part in through your newfound love of the arts and cultures?
Oh, for me it was when we did Fiddler on the Roof. That was a dream of mine to play anything with Ted.
Wouldn't have to work hard. Diddle deedle diddle digga digga deedle diddle dum. Or if I were a bitty bitty rich, idle deedle diddle diddle man.
And we tried to get the rights to the play, and we couldn't do it because they had a big tour in North America, and they weren't going to let anyone do it. But so what we did instead, this is again demonstrates Michelle's drive. She says, we're going to do something. So we did a tribute to Fiddler on the Roof, and my partner Mark, he did the narration.
Son, they greet each other and they strike up a conversation about the terrible news of the Tsar forcing the Jews to leave their homes in the village of Rezhenka.
Michelle wrote a synopsis of the play, and we sang songs with it, and I did the Tevye part, and it was really good for me, because for me it was like after the year before I had had so much trouble with the Blythe Spirit play, and that was a disaster for me for many medical reasons, emotional reasons. I won't even go into them, but for me, Fiddler on the Roof proved I could do it again, and that to me was the most special thing she did for me.
The musical score. We're doing the musical score, but we had to adapt it because we don't have an orchestra. So therefore, with the narration that introduces the songs, we can do only the songs that we can do with the chorus.
What's the difference between having the rights to a play and doing a tribute? Like legally, what's the difference between the two?
The difference is that you buy the music,
Okay.
and you have the rights to the music, and you're not doing the play.
Okay, gotcha.
We didn't use very very little actual dialogue, so it was a synopsis, and you can summarize without licensing. But we had bought the music to it, so that was still available. And we did have a few props, but it was mostly a tribute concert. And you can do.
I actually in the video of this interview, I'll put in a little video I did with you guys in regards to that. Even though you can't buy tickets for it anymore, which I think is something that we talk about in that video. So, but I will add that into this just as a extra extra pop. Okay, so. You mentioned that your partner did the narration. Has he done a lot of work with you, or is that just sort of started recently?
He wasn't in My Fair Lady, but he started with Sage Sound Singers just in the spring of after My Fair Lady. But it's kind of a funny story with that, because he wanted to be in My Fair Lady, but Michelle, being Michelle, she says, no, I don't need another person. And so, but anyway, she found out he's a contrabass. Now, a contrabass in the choir world is sought after. They're the people with low voices.
Okay.
He can do the really, really low. And she found that, she says, how he found it, he was whistling for, there was a song in My Fair Lady that we needed a whistler, and he has a very nice whistle. And he was singing the song, and she looked at him, she says, your voice is in the basement. And she says, and then all of a sudden, you can be in choir now. And so that's how he got in, and he's been with us ever since.
Okay, well that's fun.
Yeah, and actually in our Christmas concert that we recorded, you will hear his voice, but you'll hear a low rumbling. It's gorgeous. A contrabass adds a lot to a choir. So anyway, so that got him in. So.
Hey, cool.
Yeah.
Any other big highlights for you then? So before we get to this Christmas concert, just to get to know you a little bit more, is there any other big things that stood out for you in either singing or acting?
There's a couple of things that, all of it's been really, really good, but one thing that stands out is playing Matthew in Anna Green Gables, a musical that Raps did. That was so special to me because, I found through the years that when I play a character, I have to be able to be the character, and I have to believe in them, and I have to have empathy for them. And Matthew was all of those. And then I had Vivian McLean as Anne, and we were just, it was like being, the father and daughter, because it was a really, really nice relationship. So it really made that play special. And the other thing that was really, really special was getting to play with the Kamloops Symphony Orchestra with Carmina Burana.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was, and I love that because it's a filthy. The lyrics are filthy, but they're all in Latin and Old German. It's amazing.
Can you sing us a few bars?
I could if I remembered them, but no, that was, and then another highlight, which kind of got chopped in half by COVID, was with Vivace Chorale, we were doing Messiah back in February.
Okay.
And right in the middle, then everything hit the fan and we stopped it. But one thing good came out of it, that Vivace and Kamloops has taken Mark and I both on as permanent singers. So that's
Nice.
kind of good. So we'll be doing both Sage Sound Singers and Vivace in the spring. Yeah.
So you have a Christmas concert coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got over the fact that COVID's going on to put on this presentation?
Yes, yeah, it was in August. Michelle and I were talking about what we could do and how we could do it. And we knew we couldn't have a live performance. And we also knew that there wasn't a whole lot of other arts and singing or acting going on in the fall. So we said, we've got to do something. Our community needs Christmas from us. And so we decided on a virtual concert and then started to make the plans, and it was you know it was pretty straightforward. We got the buy-in from the choir. Everyone was willing to do it, and we had the gym from the hub, so we had the room for COVID protocols, and it was really nice because the hub did the check-ins and for us, so we didn't have to worry about that. And so it was a go. Our pianist, Dimitar Turtsev, he said he would do it. And so we started in late September, a little later than we normally did. And we knew we were going to shorten our choir season a bit. So we picked songs from our previous concert. So the concert we're doing is going to be sort of the greatest hits of Sage Sound Singers for
cool.
Christmas. Yeah. And there was a few new ones. And we thought another thing that would be nice to change it up is we formed a small group, a subset of Sage Sound Singers, and we would say, and I was part of that, and Mark, my partner, was part of that, and so we would have a small group as well as the large group.
Is that like a group solo?
Yeah, it would be, there was 5, yeah, group solo. There's 5 of us. It'd be an octave. A pentet.
Or the right hand of the Sage Sound Singers.
Yeah, exactly. So it was going very well. We were learning the songs, and we had separate practices for the small group. And then on November 16th, Michelle called me frantically in the morning saying, there's a lot of COVID restrictions that coming up in the pipeline. I said, are you sure? And I looked and she looked and said, yeah, so she decided, she said, we're going to have to record the concert today. And I was like, we weren't ready. The choir was hardly ready for it. And I certainly wasn't ready for it. So but I had 8 hours. I cobbled together 3 microphones and a video camera. Michelle, found the Christmas tree in our storage room. So we had a Christmas tree and we had a big red ribbon. And then Dimitar came, and we all wore casual Christmassy stuff. So when you see the video, we're dressed. I look like a lumberjack in it, but that's okay. Yeah, sort of like that there. And so we did it, and I wasn't sure what we were going to get, but I was very amazed at what we did get, because I was able to combine the audio feeds into one. And that amps the sound up. So if you don't have good acoustics, like the gym isn't the best when it's not full of people. The 4 microphone feeds made it a lot stronger, and the video was clearer than I ever thought. And so I've added a whole bunch of special effects to it, just because it's a rather boring video because there's no movement of the camera, and it's just sitting there. We're sitting around the Christmas tree with our and the pianist, he's in the center. So it's going to be pretty good. And so I've got it almost ready for Michelle to see the rough cut and then see what she wants to pick apart on it, or if she wants to change anything. So, and we're planning on releasing it on December 23rd is the date. We'll do it on YouTube, and we talked about it, and it's going to be free. We are not selling tickets to it because, number one, we want it to be a gift to the community. And this is a gift from Sage Sound Singers, so.
That's kind of breaking news, because as far as up to this moment, I was under the impression that it was going to be a pay-for-watch.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, Michelle and I had a little talk a couple of days ago, and I said, let's give it away, because part of it, we were going to have it done by Hub Online. You guys were going to help us do it, and so when we realized we had to just jump the gun, sorry, I got an itch here. But we had to jump the gun and do it. That freed up the money. So I said, well, we don't need, we're okay now. We don't,
Right.
we can do it without tickets. And so I'm really happy to do that. So basically, I still want people to register for it for the premiere, but it'll be a free registration off of brown bag tickets.
Okay.
And then we'll release it it'll just be available, still private. I don't want to release it publicly, but we'll release it for a while. And so I'm really happy about that.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
So what kind of? It's not all Christmas songs. You're saying it's the best of Sage Young
It
Singers.
is all, it's best of our Christmas stuff.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
what do you feel is one of the top 2 Christmas songs that you guys perform?
The the 2 of them is Journey of the Angels. That's a song by Enya, and it has a very Enya-esque sound to it.
Okay.
And it's just gorgeous. And the other one is Somewhere in My Memory. And then the one that the small group sings there's 2 of them. There's called Will We Know Him? That's a haunting, beautiful melody about, will we know him when when he comes, will we know who he is? And then the other one it's called Patchum, and the song is pretty much Let There Be Peace. And that song to me is probably what we need right now the most is peace of every kind. And the concert is going to be called Just Believe, so our main song is Believe. It's a song from Polar Express, and if you've ever seen Polar Express, you will know that one. And but I built the theme of it is around Just Believe, and to me that's just believe things will get better. Just believe we're okay no matter what happens. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So once Christmas is over, and we move into the new year, and let's also assume that COVID is miraculously over. If you guys have your next big project, what do you think your next big project is?
I'm thinking it would be something in the spring. I'm pretty sure, and what had happened, before COVID, we were going to host BC Choral Federation's Core Fest in 2021, and that was going to be a big music festival. 3 days, we'd bring 200 other choir members from other parts of the province, and we were going to sing. We would sing songs, then have we would learn them, and then have a concert for the public on the last day of the weekend. And that, of course, COVID stopped that. And so, but we were in the middle of rehearsing all of the songs we were going to do. So my thought is that we're going to bring those back in the spring, or maybe something else. But I'm pretty sure we're going to do something in the spring, and I'm hoping if we don't do it with, I'll sing with a mask, because they have these cool singing masks that make you look like you have a beak, but they have a lot of breath you could, because
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, they're the new thing, in the choir, the singing world is, but they go out quite a ways. So the mask, if you sing with a normal mask, you go, and then there goes, you suck in the mask with the air. And so, if we have to, we'll use those. But I'm just hoping there's, something we can do, and I hope people will do what they're told, so we can get that number down, so we can at least go back the way it was in the summer, which wasn't so bad.
Do you, out of your group, and this isn't who's your least favorite person, but who do you think are some up and comers out of the Sage Sound Singers?
Let's see.
Like forces to watch out for in the future.
I'd say me.
Hey, that's fair.
I have great plans. And let's see.
All right, hang on. So let's pause there for a second. You have great plans. What is your and again, if COVID's done and everything goes the way that you want it to go, what does your 3-year plan look like?
My 3-year plan, if I had it the way I wanted, Raps would do Fiddler on the Roof, the the play,
Yeah.
and I would reprise my Tevye role. And I
Okay.
know all the songs, but that's my dream, is to do the real play and to do it here.
Well, one could say that if you were a rich man,
If I were a rich man.
that. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's my dream plan to do it, that's where I mean it, because I love the role. Tevye is one of the most interesting characters. If you ever read the books, Tevye the Dairyman by Sholem, I forget his last name, but he's a witty and a very interesting character. But see, he fits in what I like to play. Is I could be Tevye, and I would love to be him, because he loves everybody. He's funny, but yeah. And the other thing too is to sing. Is to sing Messiah, because that was cut short for us.
Right.
And I still practice Messiah, because I want that. I want to do it someday, and so. Yeah, that's my plan for the future.
How can people get a hold of Sage Sound Singers to sign up for the upcoming Christmas concert, and just for any other general information about you guys?
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to treat it like a normal concert. We'll do our normal posters in all the places like Safety Mart and all the drugstore places. We put posters up. I'm getting ready to start a big campaign on our Twisted Desert Music Facebook group page, and get it out that way, and then word of mouth, of course. But what that'll have is it'll tell you, basically I want to put you to the Brown Paper Tickets event site, and that's where you'll get all the information on really how to do it.
Right.
Because we do want people to register, because we want to be able to have emails to send the link for the YouTube concert out to. And the other thing we're going to do too is we're going to be screening it up at Jackson House and hopefully Thompson
cool.
View Manor too. But we've already planned for sure one of them, and so it's really too bad. I would love to take that by its hand and make sure it happens, but I think the events coordinator Fritzy, I'm sorry, Mitzi, sorry Fritzy, but anyway, but I'm hoping that I know that Fritzy at Jackson House is pretty tech minded, and so but they will be able to see it. And the other thing we're going to do is they've asked if anyone at Sage Sound Singers to do a video and sing something. And Mark and I were onto that right away. And so Mark's doing, he's doing Oh Holy Night, and we will definitely send that to him so they can show that to the residents, because they're just, they're so lonely up there. They don't get the contact from anybody they need.
Well, I've heard from several different people that one thing that because you guys didn't do a Christmas concert last year.
No, we did Fiddler on the Roof. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So several people that I've spoken to about you guys have said that because they didn't get their Christmas fix last year, they're really excited about having even access to just a video of you guys singing
Yeah.
for Christmas this year. So that is pretty cool.
That's why we were adamant to do something, and that's why when we were just terrified when we found out, oh my gosh, it's crashing down yet again, because we had already canceled our spring season right in the middle of it and got nothing. So that's why it was like, I told Michelle, I said, we have to do something. I don't care what it is, whether we or the quality of it, because she wants us to sound good. We will sound good, but I was so happy we could deliver, because we knew the community was looking forward to it, because we had missed it last year. And so I'm so happy I'll be able to provide something for us, for
Very cool.
everybody. Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you would like to talk about or say in regards to Sage Sound Singers or the Christmas concert?
Well, what I'd like to say is that we're hoping, for normalcy soon. But if anyone ever wanted to be in Sage Sound Singers, you could definitely get a hold of Michelle. And I'm not sure how you do the contact. We're pretty easy to find. It's a small town. But no, we're always looking for singers, and the only criteria is that you can hold a tune. You don't have to know how to read music, and Michelle is really good. What we do for singing is for each part, I call them plunk files, and it's basically the piano piano playing just your part in single notes.
Oh yeah.
And so that way, so you don't need to even know how to read music. And if you go to our website, we've got a twistedddesertmusic.ca website, and then there's a members place where you can actually get access to all of the things you need. But we're always looking for people, and unbelievably, we're in the situation we need women in our choir, altos and sopranos very badly. And usually a choir, it's the other way, where they've got all women and no men. Well, we've got tons of men. We could be the Sage Sound men's choir, but we don't want that, because we need, I love the four voices.
The Sage Sounds Barbershop Quartet.
Yeah, we could have that. So anyway, so look for more. We're hoping for a real spring concert, I'm hoping, or a fall concert. Really depends on what happens. But someday we'll get back to it. But we're definitely going to show you guys something in probably, I think it's December 23rd. Having said that, we'll probably make that the date now. But it will be there, and we will, pretty much, we're offering it for free for the community and everybody. And I'll make sure we get, the links. Just look for the links, how to access it. Just look for it at Safety Mart. And the drugstore, the post office, those things.
We'll also advertise it on our news show.
Oh yeah, that would be nice too.
Right on. Well, thank you very much for coming in. I really appreciate that, and I look forward to watching your guys' Christmas concert. And this will be up on Tuesday of next week. So for everybody watching at home, it's Friday of the week before. So it's going to be up on Tuesday next week. And thank you so much, Jim, for coming in. And Michelle, thank you for lending us, Jim, for this interview.
Well, thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Right on. So everybody at home, thank you again for watching. And if you would like to keep up with what's happening with Sage Sound Singers, stay tuned to the Hub Online Network, as we will stick closely with them to bring everything that they're doing to you. Stay safe, stay strong, have a good holiday season.